Hey guys, welcome to another lesson on batch file scripting, and today I'll be teaching you about environment variables. Now, environment variables are actually just predefined variables that come with the batch scripting language, and they're actually pretty important to know because they have special functions that you could do with them. So let me just show you an example of an environment variable. I'm going to be using the environment variable home drive. So I never set the variable like with the set/p command because that's why they're called environment variables. They already come packaged into the batch scripting language. So let's just save this and test it. So I'm going to name it variables.bat. I'm going to save it to my desktop. Okay, so here it is. As you can see, it says C. Now that's my default drive on my computer. Let me just show you. As you can see, it says C drive. And so that just did something that I never set before. Now, if you have a different drive, like if you have a different main hard drive installed, it would say that. So like the G drive or something like that. Now, this is actually called a static variable, environment variable, because it doesn't change. It comes predefined on your system because you don't really change your home drive that your computer started off with. Now, there's also another type of environment variable called dynamic variables. So dynamic environment variables, and those are actually changing all the time. So if you run a batch file, it sometimes changes. So right here I have a list of static environment variables and dynamic environment variables. Now I'm going to post the link in the description, so don't worry. So these aren't like actually all of the static variables right here, because these are only the ones that are compatible with the newer versions of Windows and the older versions of Windows. There are lots of static environment variables that are not compatible with the newer versions of Windows. So let me show you an example. So never use the OS environment variable because it'll say Windows NT even though you're using something different than that. So I'm using Windows 7, but it says Windows NT, so that's an unreliable environment variable. So the link I have will show you all the up-to-date environment variables. So let me show you an example of dynamic environment variables. These are my favorite because you can do some really cool things with this. So here are the two main ones that lots of people really want to know about. It's the date and the time environment variable. So as you could guess, probably, the date environment variable just displays the date that your computer has been set to, and the time environment variable displays the time in military time, not in like normal time. Like it won't say PM or AM. It'll show it in military standard time. So as you can see, it shows the date, and it also shows the current time. So that's how you use environment variables, both static and dynamic. But the reason why I'm teaching you about this is, first of all, it's actually kind of cool to know about, since you could use this for effects. But the second thing is that it's a kind of a warning. Never set a predefined environment variable. So if I put set/p date to equal, or set date to equal hello, that would just erase the date function from the environment variables and change it to hello. So you've got to be very careful when naming your variables, because you don't want to override any of the environment variables. It'll either not work or it'll override it, and that's really not that good of an idea, since if you really wanted to know what that did, you can't really find out. So make sure you check out the link in the description. It'll show you all the up-to-date environment variables, and make sure that you don't name any of your variables that you set any of these. So thanks for watching this lesson. If you have any questions, please do ask. If you need any help, just send me a message and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next lesson.